Welcome back to Unseen Sports TV football fans. We are here with another one, people, just to inform you and give you guys some information on what is going on with the under 17 team. People, they played a practice match today, Jamaica U17 team versus a Premier League team, which is Vere United. Okay, people, and you can see the result on the title and on the thumbnail. Vere defeated the Jamaica U17 team by 2 goals to nil. All right, people. So I am telling you that I like these games. These are games that they will play against bigger, faster, stronger opponents, and but I think they can score some goals and stuff because most of the games that they played, the one that they lose against. No, the draw with Harborview was a good result, right? Now they play Vere and lost 2-0. I heard that the person in the goal, two mistakes and allowed Vere to score 2 goals. So I think in that era we need to work on that era um, with the national team. So far, I heard that they played very well. People, I only can talk what I've heard and the information that I've got. All right, and I can't tell you something that I've not heard. You understand me? And we're just gonna, we want to talk about, the team. The question is, can the U17 team, can Marion Garden and coaching staff qualify this U17 team for U17 World Cup? That's the question thrown out there. Understand, people? But I want you guys to share the live with friends and family. Let them know that Unseen Sports is here, and we are talking about the under 17 national team. People, um, my thought, I think the quality is there. The quality is there in the under 17 team, and big up yourself, Chris Smith. You know anything already? Yeah, man. Share the live, Christmas. Share the live. You know, Unseen Sports is there. We're talking the U17 football, talking about them and the practice game that they have played before and the one that they played today. People know that the U17 team is going to play an international match against the Trinidad and Tobago team the 4th of February and the 7th. So it's 2 games, the 4th of February and the 7th of February. Then I think they should head off over to Guatemala. Then you'll have a press conference there. Marion Garden will iron out everything, traveling arrangement, or they will be reached, and almost a lot of stuff. So the bloggers can go in and ask questions. Next thing, people, the man never a blogger. The man never a blogger. When come out of the people and thing, brother. You understand me? If you're not a blogger, come out of the people and thing. You have some man where are going to the thing and ask questions and then come out, them and disrespect the man them and this the man them some way. Right? Them man then for going at the people and meeting, brother. Straight up. Come out of the people. You're not a blogger, you're not a YouTube channel, you're not a journalist, you're not doing work. Come out of the people and meeting, brother. Straight up. That's some my thing there. Yeah. You understand me? They make it bad for people like we are trying to do the work and I try to promote the football and I try to help the football. We not tear it down. Come out of it. You have YouTube space, come out of the people and thing. Straight from Unseen Sports. You know what I say? Straight up from Unseen Sports. So go back to the topic now. So far the Jamaica U17 team, right? Them play Michael the first game, right? Then they play Yui. Then play JDF. First game, Michael. So them lose 4-2. Second game, they played against Yui. They won that one, I think 4-love. The third game, they played JDF. They lost 2-1. They lost 2-1 to JDF. That's what it was. 2-1 to JDF, right? The fourth game, they played Arnett Gardens. They lost to Arnett Gardens. They played, don't remember the score of the Arnett Garden game. They lost to Arnett Garden. Then they played Harborview, right? After they play Harborview, Precision 30. Did the U17 play the Vere United under 17 or the B or main team? And the main team, man. The main team. You understand me? The main team. But you know, a lot of players who are not on the main team may get game and think about them. But the main team here. And the main team here, you understand me? So that them can get that type of energy out there, run and run down ball and you play at a higher level. So when you go into your competition, yeah, you, you people, some of the expectation them, brother, some of the man them expectation of the football, Bridget, Chris Smith and Prodigy. Some of the man them expectation big bro. The expectation they wide out, wide my you. The expectation too big. Yeah man. The expectation big like them expect these 15 and 16-year-old, right? To dominate these big grown 19 and over, right? Players and win them. Not saying that they cannot do it, but at this level, playing against the Premier League team, Vere just draw with Arnett Garden, where I play good football in the Premier League. So expectation are way ahead of us. Just the physicality what these Premier League players can play, the power, you understand me? These youngsters don't have that as yet. Understand me? But the quality would be there in terms of controlling, passing, skills, shoots, shots. You understand me? Where I will mark the under 17 team and it is a creation, creating opportunity. Or when you create, you understand me? Because sometimes you create the opportunity, but just a little thing, based on the power and the masculinity, really, throw you off of the ball. That's where we grade them on. Passing the ball and, good, structure whenever they go into a defensive shape, how them look and those stuff I would use and grade under 17 team. But some of us, the result, man, the result, what these fans want to hear that these under 17 team beat. Now, you have to understand here in Europe and in the other countries, their U17 kids are big and tall, and many of them can hold their own versus a U23. Yeah, but as we said, a lot of these players can hold them own, and all of them can hold them own against the Premier League team. And Matthew Ellis, who played for Vere last season, a Duncan Cohen who played for Vere last season, a Adrian Reid who played for Vere last season, a Ronaldo Barrett who played for um, uh, um, Cavaliers this season, a Adrian Reid who played for Cavaliers this season. Those are the players, isn't it? Who play Premier League who Jamaica hold their own, but that's five. That's only five players. What about the other rest of players? Cool, right? There are players who play practice games against Premier League teams that don't really, add up. That's what I mean. But Prodigy, I understand what you're saying. They can hold them own. But a lot of players in the team can hold their own against these players. But at the end of the day, there are other things that will improve the football. Big up yourself, Shaban. Here. Big up, big up. Can't see at all, young guy here upon phone calling thing. What go on? Yeah. Big up yourself here. So let's get realistic on the honest, bro. Do you do our thinking? We going far with this team. It's okay to be honest. I believe, Prodigy, that this team can make the World Cup. My problem, though, based on reports from the game against what it was all of you, that long ball for days. That's Marion Garden's style of play, but he got a positive outcome of the game, which is 0-0. The result, you understand me, was a positive outcome playing an Harborview team. Whether or not the Harborview play a team that is, I don't think they play the under 17 team, right? I think they play people. The calling number are working, so if you want to call in, yeah, you can call in. You understand me? I say, yeah. If you want to call in, you can call in, right? And then when I call in, come here, try something new. I want to know if you guys are hearing the person when they call in. So Tennessee, you can call in on WhatsApp if you want. Shaban Pierre can call in. A long time I hear from you, Shaban. I wonder why I go on if I work or hold it down. You understand me? I say? Mm-hmm. Who that? Stefan, right? Big up yourself, Stefan, right? Big up the man them on the panel. You understand? Shape the live. Shape the live. People them can, Yeah. I want more people for the live and things. So big something we are talking. You get me? Yeah, man, I read the comment there, man. Just give me a second. People who can call in if you want. Call in at work. Call in at work. All right. So, we'll reach now. So, big up yourself, Tennessee, in the building. How does the team play tactically? Uh, all right. So, these are the questions we have to ask the coach. Because, based on my, you know, my birds are, per people who giving me the information and stuff. It says that they are in a problem in terms of goal scoring. So they have to move player, they have to try to fit player in the striker here because Lovelace no sound like him are getting passport for now, based on resource. You understand? Based on my investigation. Down a passport office. Yeah? My bird tell me say look like him or getting passport, Lovelace. Love then in a better shape for getting passport. Cool? That's what me hear. You understand me answer? But there's a problem with Lovelace. So right now they're in a problem with strike, goal scoring. Goal scoring. Bell alone can't do it. So they want a bigger body structure up there. So them like would I use Bell as a fast nine who can drop off and them not go post up. So them in a problem. They might try shift front players who is a midfielder and wing player who try to play forward. So maybe that's the reason why them not really score a lot of goals. You understand me? Yeah. Stefan, right? That's my problem as well on seeing. Yeah, man, a big problem. This long ball thing can't work, brother. I'm telling you. 1, 2, 3, testing. Big up SLRR in the building. I think said Shavan period. Unseen. We have to be realistic. Our Premier League teams are the best. They play way too slow. International team play way faster. But Shavan period. I wouldn't expect an under 17 national team from a country to come and beat a team like a Portmore United or Harborview. Not saying that they can't beat them, but I would be looking at that Premier League team and say, we don't need to play football yet. We don't need under 17 team come and beat Portmore United, strong team at the national stadium. I don't believe with the physicality that we have, we don't make the sense to play football, brother. That's all I say. Right? Shaban period, bless. Unseen, big up. Yeah, man. Chris Smith, up. Tennessee in the building. Tennessee Lewis, bless up. Work of me. Yeah, man. We see that. Work of your wicked way. Lewis, bless up. Stefan Wright, up. Gregory Anderson, please send me your number. What's up? Oh, all right. Watch me now. So the number will come up in a quick section. See there? On the script, you can call in. All right. See the virgin. Call in number is there. All right. Formula Sports, big up yourself, Formula in the building. Formula, long time. You can't come jump on the stream of Formula. What you do? Formula. Oh, you're my virgin. Long time, you see man like Formula, brother. Yo, Formula, I'm going to send the link in the group. I drop the link in the group in the Formula. You see me? I drop the link in the comment section of the Formula. So see, drop the link in the Formula. You understand me? See the link there? The link drop, So if you want to join, you can join, And I'm going to pin it, Alright? You can come on. So the link drop in the comment section. Work of me, bless up, right? Please send the number. They are work unseen. Okay. I thought Weber Force and Watson were in the set up as forwards. Based on what I hear, they might try other players there. Alright? By the way, big up yourself, Unseen and Shavan. Yeah, man. Tennessee, Lewis, up. Formula Sports. Yeah. Cool. Drop it soon forward. Alright, me drop it. The Formula Sports best up my general. Unseen Sport, the Formula Sport. Have you seen any of our opponents so far? Yeah, some of that pre-US and me a pre-Costa Rica. Me that pre-US and me that pre-Costa Rica. Right now, me have it on my waiting right I say. Me that pre-Costa Rica. Yeah, man, have it up, man. Them in the pre-Costa Rica right now. See that? In the pre-Costa Rica from last week, me I pre them. I look on them result. You understand what I say? Yeah, them play Nicaragua. Them beat Nicaragua 1-0. Cause USA beat them 5-0. And last year match them the 27th of the 4th, 2022. So January, February, March, April. April the 27th, them play United States and get them ass beaten 5-0. Them drop 9 the 25th of February, no, 25th of April, them beat Costa Rica beat Grenada 9-0, 9-1. And then them play Puerto Rico and beat them the 23rd of February. They play Puerto Rico and get them 4-1. So teams that score upon them, you can see that the teams that are lesser in terms of quality still let them score upon them. So they don't have a defensive problem based on what get right there. So. But them not pretty much from that. You understand me? Them get 3-0 from Canada. May the 4th. See me? At a Costa Rica people. You see me? So me I do my research, Chavan Pierre. Me I do my research. Right. Unseen Sports I do more. Me I tell you that. The Formula Sports best up. The Formula Sports have you seen any out of so far? Yeah. I'm back. My phone just turned off. Okay, big up yourself, Project. Although we don't see eye to eye, blessing same way. Okay. Easy now, Tennessee. On the base of your knowledge of us, what do you expect from our team? Seeing that Miss Merriam prefers a long ball tactics. One answer the question, the Shevan. Shevan, hey, easy, you ask so hard question, but me have to be realistic. I'm not gonna be optimistic or hopeful. I'm not live on a hope road. If a long ball tactics we're gonna play, brother. The long ball tactics have to be systematic in a way where we not play to the center forward all the while. We play it when we get the ball, we don't keep it. Alright. So we don't keep it for more than 5 passes in an hour half, right? So we play it long in a space where we can get the ball, we know we're gonna get the ball. But when you have to play the ball to the center back at all times, like lick it to the center back at all times, we have a problem there. So because what you trying to tell me is that the center back them for another team, them are idiot. So they're gonna make mistake. And we're gonna get goal. In an international space, me not like that. That doesn't make sense. But if you're gonna play a long ball where we'll play the ball into space, Trevor and Pierre, I think that we can play to our advantage because we have wingers, we have players like Bell, Matthew Ellis who can take that ball and take on players and get the ball in the box. But if we are gonna play to the forward at all times and hope that the forward get the ball or the defender make a mistake and we score, nah, go work. Nah, go work. Nah, go work. Prejudice said, I still want to know why you guys haven't had a national U23 tournament yet. I think this could bring out the best talent for Jamaica. Well, based on what Speed said, they are in the process of starting a under 17 and the under 20 all island competition. Now the under 15 and under 13 will be parish competition, right? Normally I know that they are the under 13 all island competition where Windsor Lion, Mount Pleasant, Mount Pleasant win from them coming the academy always a win and I represent Jamaica, in the Scotiabank overseas competition. You understand me? And they went to the quarterfinal last time with a lot of players. They beat a lot of teams, some Costa Rican team and stuff. They were doing well. You understand me? Then COVID come in, it stopped. Now we need to start it back. We need to start by the under 17 and under so we can have a team. Now my view is that if you're going to start under 17 thing, soon come to the comment section again. If you're going to start under 17 thing, project, we need for the person in charge for the youth development, which I think is January, you need to come up with a system based on our genetics and our culture, our style of play, and come up with a plan, write it down now like a PDF, send it out to the coach and our coach under 17 team and say, yo, this is the culture we are trying to break into the youth then. can't tell them which system to play, but the culture must be there. And terms and terminologies should be there. You understand me? I say, people, people, me have a special guest in the building. Everyone got frightened when time we see this man jump on. A long time when I see him. I'm scarce. People. Nah, hey, watch out now. Look how this. Look how this.
Easy, you know. Morgan Virgin.
Formula sports people. Don't play around. Formula is here.
Morgan.
There, man.
Yo, me hear you say something about the forwards then. And that's when I catch the stream, you know, when me hear you say the coaching staff have a problem with the forward line. But that the kind of, because I see names like, as I say Wilberforce in the squad, because I see you talk about like them want a forward with a bigger body or something like that. So I say,
so based on this
Wilberforce is a player with known for him physique and him physical ability.
I don't know what is going on because they want to shift round player based on my knowledge. Not the squad game. So it can be Wilberforce is good and doing well, but maybe they might try a plan B or a plan C. It can be that. So we can hear speculate, but we don't know what the coach are trying to do. Because there's a tournament, you know, so you want to know all your plans then. So, you know, out coach, you know, the game.
Yeah.
So that can be a factor.
Hold on, I think the volume for my thing low. Because I not hear you so good. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, my volume did low. I hear you better. Yeah. Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, I don't know, probably is a case where they might try out different systems and different tactics and so forth and just a try to see, you know, who will or what type of forward, would fit the system that they're trying to implement, or, you know, probably they might try to figure out what system best fits the group of players that they have, or probably they might try for them probably see a player who them think can do a job for them at a certain position, so they might try out all of those things to see what can work. You never know. You never know. But I mean, if it's a case though that they're not pleased with the established forwards in the setup, right? That would be a very concerning thing for me personally, because Watson and the boy Wilberforce were two of the best forwards in the Costa Cup in rural area football. So if them not pleased with them, then
We have to understand, you know, you see some of the natural abilities in a particular team. I mean, necessarily work in a next particular team.
Fair point. Yeah, exactly.
So when you come to a team, you know, it maybe not, he might move slower than normal. Him not reach the ball, he not make the runs them properly. But in the other team, he could have do it because they might play at a lower place. So that's a different thing.
But all right. So that I couldn't understand now, because that means that the whole side would are in a trouble, because most, if not all, of the players are schoolboy footballers. So why
some of them are Premier League players?
Some of them, like for instance, I know Cohen plays for Vere, right? And you have a couple others that are exposed. I don't think there are many of them that are regulars in the JPL.
Yeah, Ronald Barrett is a regular for Cavaliers. Him are the man who anchor that defensive midfield.
Yeah.
Him above level. Hey, him level.
True.
Him not playing schoolboy football.
I have eyes on the squad currently, so I never remember all of the ball of them in the squad.
Yeah, read from Georges, who played for Cavaliers as well. Right? You have Matty Ellis, who played for Vere last season. And him dominated for Charlie Mount in the Manning Cup, in the Dakar Cup this season. Score a wonderful free kick against the under 20 goal, one of the under 20 call-up goalkeeper, Asher Hutchinson. So that free kick circulate around the country. He's there as well.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of experienced players from Premier League in the under 17.
So the forward line though, none of them are JPL exposed apart from because I know Cohen is JPL exposed. Who else in the forward line is well, specifically center forwards are players who can play that position.
Well,
Because
with before Scott game in the JPL, but he was
which club?
for Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant. Oh, and did actually turn out and get games to Mount
Yeah, we
Pleasant.
get game for Mount Pleasant in a JPL one already.
You see, the thing is, when me I watch JPL Virgin, sometimes I never even know the age of some of the man them Virgin.
That.
So me I watch JPL and or sometimes me not really connect the dots, so to speak. So I might watch a Mount Pleasant and I see Wilberforce, and I realize that the same Wilberforce were turn out for York Castle.
Yeah, man, I'm same one, man. You understand me? And Lynch too, the goalkeeper, him are the goalkeeper in the national team. So far, based on my knowledge, him are the leading goalkeeper. Don't know if I him keep today. You understand me? But me, one next little story say, the goalkeeper kind of, like a too soft goal today.
Well, I mean, in the practice match today.
Yeah.
Well, I
So I
mean, to
don't
be
know if I
fair,
Lynch or the
how
other
strong was
coaches.
the Vere team? How strong was the Vere team?
Well, we saw them against Arnett.
No, in terms of was it a strong Vere team? Was it the most or all of the starters?
All right. So I don't know. I never get that information. So,
Because that's very important, It could have been a second string Vere team.
but when I think a second string Vere team would have beat them 2-love, maybe a 1-love. Yeah, based on the ball game where them are play so far in the JPL, them they way down the pecking order.
Yeah. And
So
them
I
have
feel like
struggled.
them
Them have
feel up,
struggled to
yes.
score as well in the
Right. So
JPL.
I feel like them play a strong unit, but they may play some players who them look on some younger players, but them play some key players in a certain area like defense, midfield. So you have some key players are different. That's what my thinking. Understand? We get that information for you guys. Hopefully, Paul answer the phone call.
And on the weekend, how the match did go again? I mean, watch the match that I mean, I remember it. On the weekend, how the match go? I remember up until the
Them draw
weekend,
with
like
them draw with man, Vere.
1-1, I think, if memory serves me
0-0.
right.
It was 0-0.
0. Yes. And remember, Reed did miss a sitter, and somebody else did miss a sitter. And I think, if memory serves me right, a 2-sitter Arnett missing at the game.
Yeah,
Reed
man.
did miss a sitter. Reed miss boy, that sitter them, I don't know how Reed missed that, Reggie. You know, one of them the way it harder for miss than it is for score. One of them they Reed miss. Yeah, man, nil all the game did they. Nil all the game. I remember now. But I think probably 2 or so goals them score all season. They haven't really scored a lot of goals all season, Vere. So, we wouldn't expect a hefty score line.
Is that comment there?
Honestly, I can't say much because I haven't seen the team, but based off reports I've heard from those who have seen matches, I'm not too optimistic. Our coaches are stuck in their old ways. So the coaching staff is the head coach is Meron Garden,
Right.
and the assistant coach is
Buster Reynolds.
Vassar Reynolds, and
Andrew Pierce.
Peart. Peart is the like a second assistant.
Right.
But I mean, those three are three of the better coaches that we have at our disposal in this country. So I mean, if and if I'm not mistaken, Peart and Garden are A license coaches now.
They don't have the year license. They went and do a P side.
Oh, so it not finish yet though. Them not.
No.
Yes, it
Still
wouldn't
a
be
B
finished so
license coach.
quickly. Yeah, it wouldn't finish so quickly. Them wouldn't get it so quickly. Because if it's an extended period. It's not like
Yeah,
the
I think
lower licenses where it's like a
it's a
2.
season and you have to do certain things and write
Yes.
reports and sanity and stuff like that.
It's so long the A license is an entire season.
I think so. That's what I heard.
I mean, I think the UEFA one's so long though.
Yeah, man, some of them long because you have to do
The UEFA A license. I think they,
I think
yes,
you have to go at clubs and get work experience.
I did some research into it a while back, but me not really remember off the top of my head now. But it is an extended period. It's not like, for
You
instance,
have to
like
be
the B
active.
license or the C license, where it's not a lot of time really. But
The B license take a little time, do you know? A little time.
the B license take a little time, definitely a longer time than
C
the
license. C
license
license is kind of
beneath it.
easier.
Yeah, but I mean, so Peart, I don't is Vassarinas doing the A as well. Me know Peart
Yeah,
and Garden
Vassal,
doing the A.
Vassal,
All three of them are do the A license.
yeah. Speed,
Speed I do it. Me know Speed I
Danzwell,
do it.
Danzwell,
Letman I think.
Ekman, Doki.
Yeah. So me personally, here's why I'm optimistic, right? I haven't looked at any of the games with the U17s as yet, because I think there's one and two games on the internet, if I'm not mistaken, with them. I'll check them out. If I'm not mistaken, I'll probably adjust
And
highlights.
peace
But
again. And peace
our
again.
piece game, yeah. So, but I'll say this much though. I'll say this much though about the coaching. I'll say this much about the coaching, Shavan. Some of the football that I've seen played from, or I've seen some of the clubs or some of the teams of some of the individuals that went on the A license coaching thing late last year. Them club actually, or them teams actually are play some decent football,
Mm.
because Cavaliers is playing some decent football, right? Probably one of the better performances I've seen from Cavaliers in terms of how the team is actually playing and also results as well. And in terms of this season, the ball where them are roll this season. And me hear Rudolph Speed in post-match interviews, basically I big up the A license and I talk about the A license and basically, how much it is helping in and how much it is impacting what he's doing on the pitch. Seeing? And at the same thing with like a Letman as well. For instance, when I was watching Falkland, I think it was Monday Night Football.
Hmm.
That was the first time I'd seen Falkland play in the JPL.
Yeah.
See, because I don't think any of their previous matches were televised, or not to my memory, anyways. And if those were televised, I didn't catch it. But the like 5-10 minutes into the game, unseen, may I say, yo, who a coach Falkland?
Hmm.
That was the first thing that pop up in my mind. Who a coach Falkland? Because when I actually look on the ball game where them a play, you can see the deficit in quality of players between themselves and on it. Seen? But what you saw was organization, what you saw was structure on both sides of the ball, what you saw was a plan, what you saw was a pattern of play in respective phases of build up and stuff like that. And it just look organized and it just look like structured football. Seeing you actually see the patterns of play, you see the patterns of movement and that sort of thing. I may say, yo, I who a coach Falkland. Only for hear Letman do interview and I talk about the A license when I do when did start on Trinidad. I may say, yo, yeah, Letman was one of them who did go do the A license for true. Like remember that. So it really does seem as though the A license is having a massive impact because the coaches that have done it are talking about it. Them are real about it, and you see improvement with how their teams, or some of them anyways, them teams look on the pitch. So with all of that being said, that gives me some sort of optimism that you know the coaching staff with the U17 can get it right or can do a better job than previous coaching staff has done with Jamaican youth teams, because I mean, God help us if a three coach in the setup and all three of them are the A licenses, and a three our better coaches in the island. One of them a coach of coaching school. God help us if a foolish the team go out there do. You know, consistent with what we have seen with previous youth teams. I mean, with future, we can't would have look dark.
Yeah, man, very dark. Very dark, family. Well said. But in my opinion, they sometimes our coaches go out and they get the knowledge, they learn certain things, but when they come back to Jamaica, they still stuck to them always. That me can understand. So, for example, you come back to Jamaica, you get a feedback. Are you Bama?
But
You get a feedback. All right. Now hear me now? Yeah, me now hear the feedback now. Yeah. So them come back to Jamaica and then sometimes them don't imply what them learn. You understand me? A man who can coach them know, you know. You get me? A man who can coach them know. So if you go there, you will learn something new and you don't put it in a your practicals, then we have to do with the kids and them. So you come like you're there square one, you're never gonna move up. You understand me?
so
Um
yeah, so the man them now apply the knowledge of them I learn.
yeah, that a part of it too. Because if you alright, you look on the government team. Government win the competition last season. And this season, them a buck and shuffle. And them have quality players. They have like a Clear Clark who played Premier League for Cavaliers, who was called up for the under 20 team. And him couldn't, you understand, the same system, long ball, open play, defender make this mistake. That them play. You know, see, you understand me? And at the international level, we should start to teach our kids whether JPL, Premier League, youth under 13, how to play the international way. If we stop play this type of game and things are alright, then we'll pick a youth from them thing and we'll play national team. Then we'll just learn how to play international team 3 months. You understand me? And beat them.
Question, cause I didn't see, I don't recall seeing a Garvey Maciel game this season. Cause them never go far at all. Them they drop out relatively early.
Them they back against the wall and then beat a team and go up in our next group part of the thing. And then get beaten and drop out. I'm going at the
Mhm.
Ben Francis and then go get beaten at the Ben Francis again. Out of the competition.
So question, you saw them this season?
Yeah, me see them and me see long
And
me
at the
see
same long ball
alright.
thing.
Yeah, me see a system of long ball, hoping that the defenders make mistakes and they score.
Oh, so you mean basically it might depend on one mistakes and two individual brilliance.
Right. So a clear
That kind
clock
of
was
thing.
heavily depending on the scoreboard. If your clear clock no function, them can't win.
I saw some of their highlights, and I mean, you can never judge by highlights, but it does seem as if by judging by highlights, which is not a fair assessment, to be fair, but judging by highlights, it looks like they were heavily dependent on clear clock.
Karim you, I mean a coach what he knows. Karim you. A coach what he knows. You understand me?
Chavan, I don't think it's a Trinidad Air license, you know. If I'm not mistaken, it's a CONCACAF Air license, Chavan. If I'm not mistaken, it's a CONCACAF Air license that was being coached in Trinidad. Trinidad apparently has the, I don't know, for want of a better word, the infrastructure or the capacity, or their program is at that level to be able to coach it in Trinidad. But I don't think it is it's not a Trinidad Air license. If I'm not mistaken, it's a CONCACAF Air license.
Yeah man, it's a CONCACAF A license with UEFA pro license coach administering the lessons. You understand me?
Oh, is a UEFA Pro license coach
Coach administering
administration? Oh,
lessons.
me never know that. Well, I
You know,
know it had to be a pro license coach that was administering, but
it's a
I didn't
UEFA pro
know it was
license.
a UEFA Pro license. Okay, I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Someone period said, true, my only concern in that regard is that the team that played them aren't technically good, or JPL teams aren't the best, but I guess they are bigger in body. Yeah.
Well,
Um.
the JPL teams are at a higher level and will provide sufficient enough challenge for our U17 team. What I worry about when I mean I don't want to I don't like to say speak a lot on things that I don't know because again I haven't seen the U17 team
True.
play. So that's why sometimes I don't even to content because I haven't really spoken about the U17s much. Seen because I haven't gotten I don't have sufficient like I haven't seen the team play. I don't know what's taking place behind the scenes in terms of I hear things, but I like for when me I say my piece more for see to more to yeah. You get what me I
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. Talk facts.
Yeah, when me know say yo, I know somebody opinion or I know somebody's rhetoric or agenda. Seeing a way me know to be facts in. But what Shavan's comment again? I forget Shavan comment. Oh yeah. So what concerns me though is that there are some U17 teams in the region that I wouldn't put it past those U17 teams to be able to beat a Vere United. That's what bothers me. Like, I wouldn't surprise if the American U17 team was for whole Vere United and slap up Vere United, Virgin. That like just because they have. I mean, just to give an example, the reigning CONCACAF Champions League champions, Seattle Sounders, when they won the CONCACAF Champions League, they won it with a player who was a starter for them, who was a 16-year-old. Now, when you have players like that who are starting in the MLS and winning CONCACAF Champions League and they're the best, they're playing for the best club in the entire region, surely players of that ilk would have dispatched of Vere United. So, while it's not a surprise to me that a JPL team beats the U17 team and the JPL level is of a higher level than what most of the players in the U17 team aren't established starters for JPL clubs. But the fact of the matter is them are gonna come up against some teams that are probably even stronger than JPL clubs. Or have players who are some of them probably even professionals. So, you know, I don't know. I just like going to watch the U17 thing and I try to remain positive. I mean, the preparation is late as per usual, but that is the Jamaican way. You know, I mean, nothing will change. That's just our way. Now gonna change. It ingrained in our DNA to be late. Seen, but we just gotta be hopeful and optimistic and you know
Hey,
cheer on team.
you're the problem. You're the problem. We move away from our culture in terms of our play football. We move away from our strength. I will start teach a different football where we can't ever play that because first of all, if you look on cricket, we don't like bat long. We want to lick the ball and win. Someone pick out the point out of this. We like lick the ball quick, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. So lick ball. I'm gonna play alright. I will score a goal if I runs in a 5 ball or 10 ball. We have records then, don't it? So that include power, right? That includes speed. The track and field are the fastest thing on the earth.
Athleticism.
Right? And track and field are the fastest thing on the earth. So that tell us we want done things quick, we want to win things fast. And we're very aggressive, not true. And we're boasting, not true.
So what you say? Counter attacking, playing in
Right.
transition, quick in
So
transition is our
quick in transition, skillful, that we always have skill player, and we always big in the body, we always physical and fast. We move away from that. Move away from that. We're going up a hope road with this long ball thing and hope the defender make mistake and we score a goal. So we can play
Yeah,
the
but
football.
unseen. If and me take it no, Stefan. Me I try to remain positive and optimistic. Seeing me not want to be. I mean, too many tournaments to go into with a bag of negativity. Seeing. So now your point is well taken. We're going up against teams that are more prepared than our team. That's just facts. Um, but my thing is that again, all of that comes with knowledge, though, unseen. Seeing, I don't even think it's deliberately moving away from that style of play. I think we want to play that style of play, but when a coach is going up against opposition that they know are better coached, better prepared, right, and they know they don't have what it takes to cope against said opposition, the natural thing to do is to just resort to packing up everything behind the ball and hope and pray.
So Karim, I say, what Garvey must have to do with under 17? And the first question him say was what is the international way of play? You can answer that?
Now, Garvey Massey has everything to do with the U17s because the head coach of Garvey Massey as the head coach of the U17, so you're going to need some sort of a reference point to determine whether or not this man is capable of doing the job.
People, hold on, people. Special guest is here. The man, and his name is Call. Me I tell you everything, I'm sure about everything. You understand me? So from me say I'm sure about everything, you know how me I put up on the street. I am sure sports boss. Welcome, man. Welcome to Unseen Sports TV. How are you doing, sir? Not hearing you, you know.
Oh, good evening, good evening. Who is that? Third player? Jeez, peace. Fabula. Yo, give me back to the Juju Gem and the White Sox then, no, man, and to the Irish Spring then we bring back now, man.
Yeah, same thing gonna find man in his hand.
Most brother, you know, I don't see them man, brother. See the man get brown. I know them man they no bleach.
Tell him say I use turmeric farm, man. I wash your face with the turmeric. Unseen Sports turmeric, so soon drop a road, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, but
so man
blessing,
is
man.
man.
It's a blessing
When
to
you
be
talk
here.
about
Big
the
up family.
U17 team.
Big up family, big up unseen. Good to be back here and all the persons in the comment section, greetings and salutation. Yeah, man.
We were talking about the U17 team. They played a game against Vere. Vere defeated them 2-0. And we're just telling giving the Reggae Boys fans information and our points and what to think about this U17 team, the coaching staff and everything. You understand me? And based on what I've heard from the Birds, the Eagles, I was just telling them about it. So, what's your thought and the preparation so far?
It look like you're paying the Eagles more than me coming here. I'm gonna really hear, so the Eagles have been reassigned, I suppose. But I mean, what do you take away from it? They played Harborview and they had a draw game, and you'd think that Harborview is a better team than Vere, but then they lost to Vere, who are lower down on the table. They played against Arnett Gardens as well, and I think that game was 0-0 or 1-0 because they played again. I think it was.
Harborview was 0-0.
And Arnett Gardens, they also played Arnett Gardens.
They lost one Garden, I think.
Yeah, they lost 1-0, and then they. So what do you take from this? I think with practice game, I think there is a concern from my sources about how the team is playing, in terms of how they play the football. For example, one of the reports that I got is that in the Arnett Garden game for the 90 minutes, they did not start the ball from the back once. No, I don't know if it's because it's a JPL team and they were not accustomed to that kind of, because Arnett Garden is a high pressing team, so maybe going into that game they would want to do that. But I would think that regardless, because it is a practice game, if you're playing against a team that press, you want to, this is where you want to try it to see how it would work. So even if you're planning on playing out from the back, and Arnett Gardens would be a good team for you to experiment, because if you get 6 or 7 or 8, it don't really matter as long as you can get the playing out from the back right. So there is some concerns about that, about just how the team is playing. It's not a matter from my reports that there are enough quality players in the team, and there's a lot of quality players that have been cut from the team. And the players that have been cut does not diminish the quality of the team. So I think
Manning,
yeah.
question. And I was asking and seeing this earlier. Do you have any of your birds supplied you with any information as to the quality of the teams that the U17s have faced in terms of how strong have the JPL teams been? Are they first team regulars? Is it a second string team, benchers, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I know that Harborview, they use most of their first team. Same thing with Arnett Garden, but there is rotation, by second half. So right. So there is rotation, but they use many players from their starting 11. I don't know. I didn't get any reports on the Vere game as to who played and stuff like that. But the thing with practice game, it's even if you have your first team players out there, I don't see like Neil putting on tackles on the under 17 players, and he's a very rough player, right? I don't see that happening because it's a practice game, and they would come into the game. You understand me thinking that they are youth. I think the best thing we have to do. There are 2 games coming up against Trinidad and Tobago, as I reported. One on the 4th, one on the 7th. That is where we will see about this team. After that, they're supposed to be leaving to go away to the tournament. So they have these 2 games. I would also think that maybe what they should have done is played like a Cavaliers, which is in terms of age group closer to them, right? To kind of get a feel of that, what it is like playing against that age groups. I don't know, but one thing I know, Manning School lost to Garvey Maceo in the DaCosta Cup a few seasons ago. And Garvey Maceo had Cleo Clark, I think his name was, and Cousins. But how they defeated Mannings is that Mannings played a high line and they played long ball. All right. This CMT, Garvey Maceo won the under 16, I think, not this season, but last season as well. I think they won the under 16. And that team as well played a lot of long balls. I don't know if this is the coach's philosophy, where he prides himself on defense. And I don't know, but I want to see the Trinidad and Tobago games because they have been in camp and training to see how the team look. I have my concerns, in terms of how the team is playing, but I want to see them against their age group by that time. But I do have a little bit of worry about not the quality of the players, but how the team is playing.
Manning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were finished. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that I was talking to a coach, right? And one of the things he was saying is that these players have been in camp for weeks now, and he was just saying, big international coach, that you don't want to do that. You want to let the players go back to their families and come back on a weekend. He says all of these dynamics, having them adjust to food, your feeding patterns and your food, when you get to the tournament, all of that is going to change. Your rhythm is going to change. So you're like creating a new rhythm in their life that they're not going to need in the competition itself. So wouldn't it have been better to have them for 2 weeks, take a break, let them go back home, relax, come back, you understand me? Come back into camp again, go for a little while, instead of having them in this extended camp, going through some regimental routines, basically, that they are not going to use in the tournament. So that is something that I've never even thought about. That somebody said to me, I don't know what your thoughts are on that formula. You know, if you think that that is a factor in anything, because he's saying that you just took them away from their families to adjust to a new environment. But the environment that they're operating in is nowhere compared to the environment that they're going to play in.
True.
When they go to Guatemala. So what is the purpose of the acclimatization going through?
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. It's a solid point. I think they're trying to make up for lost time because we were just talking about, how late the preparation is. So I think that might be the issue where they're trying to make up for lost time and trying to squeeze a hour-long movie into a 30-minute segment. I think that's probably the best analogy that I can come up with. What I wanted to ask Mannings, just to get a second opinion, because I asked Unseen this question. I was making the point that I've noticed with the naked eye that some of the coaches that have gone on the A license course, I can see improvements in what their team is doing on the pitch. Right?
Yeah.
I see it. I personally think Cavaliers look a better unit.
Yeah.
Right? I saw, as I was saying to Unseen, I saw Letman with Falkland on
Yeah.
Monday night. And honestly, I mean, even though the game ended in a draw, I think.
Yeah, 0-0.
But they play. You could see the deficit in quality between the players. But to be fair to Falkland, it was organized football. It was structured football on both sides of the ball. You saw the patterns of play, the patterns of movement. You saw the patterns of play in the respective phases of build-up. Like, as I was saying to Unseen, 5-10 minutes into the game, I was saying to myself, who are coach Falkland? And when the match finished, you see Letman doing interview, you see him talking about his A license. Speed, the same thing. You see him talking about his A license after Cavaliers games and how it is impacting him. So I had some sort of optimism that Reynolds, Peart, and Gordon, the A license would have improved them in some way, shape, or form. So what I wanted to ask, and I asked Unseen, and he gave me an answer. I want a second opinion on this. I did not see Garvey Marcia this season. Are they playing the same kind of long ball that they have played in previous seasons that we have seen in previous seasons?
Oh, well, what I'll say is that they look nothing like the team they were the year before. But I didn't like to me it's and I don't have a problem if you play away if it is effective. But so far, because if say to me, I don't think the style of play of the Garvey Marseille team improved this season because they were still expected to go far in the competition because they had players. Cleo Clark was still there, and they didn't. So I really don't. I would love to see attractive football, but if you play a low block and you win the World Cup, then I will celebrate. Morocco went to the World Cup, and we commend World Cup semifinals, and we commended them not because they had the best build-up play, but just they were solid defensively. So if you're going to do that and it's working, then fine. What I know is this is not going to work against the Central Americans. This kind of play will not work against the Central Americans because we have tried it before. We tried it at the senior level and at this level, and it has not worked. So I would agree with you that I have seen where the setup of the Falkland team with less quality player, their organization on the field, that has changed. Even Cavaliers, their organization on the field has changed. When you look at them, I remember there was a couple of games that the national coach was at, and he made mention of it. He said that the teams are very organized. They are very organized. They play very organized. You can see their back four moving. You know, 3 step back, press, 3 step forward, to the right, to the left, pressure, cover. But you can see all of those things when they're playing. All right. So you can tell that the coaches, at least some of the coaches, are doing their stuff, right? So I agree with that. But I can't say what I've seen, from the little I've seen, that I've seen significant changes to how the team is playing under the present coaches. I'd love to see that, right? So, like I said, I'll give them until the Trinidad game to see what that is. But also, Formula. I, you know, here's I think you said this as part of your thing, which I agree with, that the preparation time is important. I know that I have heard of some plans that, there's an under 15 tournament. I believe it's in August. So you remember, I think in 2019 or 2021, we had an under 15 team that went away, and I think Dylan John and Bell went on that team, and some of the Phoenix players actually went to England. But there was an under 15 team that went away to, I think, a CFU under 15 tournament. That tournament is being kept again. I think it's every other year they do it different ways. So I think it is this year. So we have an under 15 team. And from what I'm hearing, is that the under 15 team, because the coach of the under 15 team is paired, but that under 15 team will become an under 17 team, or some of them should be making up the under 17. And what I'm hearing is that when that under 15 tournament is done, the under 17 coach will get those players, whomever that person is, immediately to start preparing for the next under 17 while this under 17 is in tournament, which is what you are saying that should happen. You understand me?
So, Manning, I'll give you an example quickly. The American U20 team has already. Thank you.
And it is not for. I want people to know it's not the U20 team for this tournament. It is a U20 team for the next U20 tournament. So I know in March, for example, in March of this year, there is going to be a camp for players under 15 in Florida, in that area, and there's supposed to be one as well in New York, in the tri-state area, which is to find who are at the age that in a couple of years they can play under 17. And all of those players, once they're selected, they will have regular camps in Jamaica with the Jamaican players and in the States with the American players, and begin to prepare the team, which is what have to happen. The American under 17 team, not for this tournament, the one for the next tournament is also in camp. Yeah.
Yeah, man, this question is here for you, SSL South Cry said. But man, does a low block means you only kick the ball long, half mile away when you get it? So low block teams are zero possession, shit.
No, I didn't say they have zero, because remember, kicking the ball long is good. Virgil van Dijk plays 90% of his passes are from his side of the defense diagonally, and every one of them normally hit Mohamed Salah when Liverpool play. And that's a very long diagonal pass. No, I don't have a problem with you kicking the ball long if it is effective. What I have a problem is giving up the ball. I did say that cannot work didn't I say that, that kind of play cannot work in CONCACAF. I said that. So if they're planning on just sitting back and just kicking long ball, it's not going to work.
And it's not only about, I'm not the biggest fan of that style of play either. I don't think most people are, but it has to be done in an organized and in a structured manner. And that's the problem that we have seen with a number of Jamaican teams previous, whether especially at the youth level and even the senior team level, where it's not just long ball, right? And that's the designated style of play, and it is done in a structured manner. But a lot of it is just unstructured football. It's just reactionary football. It's just, oh my God, we are being pressed. We need to get the ball the hell up out of here. Just get it out of here. Anyway, we'll do kind of football. That's the problem. So
Yeah.
if long ball is being done and it's being done in a structured manner, you're not gonna really hear too much complaints from me. But if the football is unstructured and it's just get it out of here kind of football, then you know, and if that is what is being reported to be taking place in the current setup, then that is a little
Yeah.
bit concerning.
And like I said, listen, I know some of the players that are, and they are quality players. These there is at least 4 players who have gone um into Europe and played competition against top European players in academies, and they have done well and come out with MVP awards. So that is why I'm saying there is enough quality in terms of the players for us to complete accurate passes, right? But like I said, I will wait until they play against Trinidad and Tobago to see how they match up with their age group, because it's going to be a little bit difficult to judge their quality rightly against Vere and Harborview and Arnett Gardens. But it yeah. But like I said, I have some concerns, and I just want to see the Trinidad game, and then I'll be better able to assess.
Mannings, as I was saying earlier, though, to Unseen, I mean, I know that don't be surprised if you see if this Reggae Boys team will end, if this U17 Reggae Boys team will encounter U17 teams in that tournament that are as strong, if not stronger, than JPL teams in our JPL league. Don't be surprised, because as I was saying to Unseen, I mean, I was talking to him about the young man who at 16 years old was a starter for Seattle Sounders when they won the CONCACAF Champions League,
Yeah, but
right?
to be fair though, I'm not saying it is impossible, but though you may have like the Haitian team have a lot of players who play in the, even in some of them in the lower tiers in France. They have a very good team. Remember they even had an under 17 player, under 20 player. I think he was 17 years old when Waterhouse, and he gave Waterhouse a warm time in the club championship. Warm time, young strike. So you will always have like exceptional quality and talent. You'll probably have, because like Dunstan Cohen is an exceptional talent. Like I said, Javin Williams, these are guys who have gone into Europe and done well. So you'll find that, but the overall team, you're not going to find that quality around. Like, like
Mannings, I'm telling you, America have some teenagers, some very young
yeah, but
teenagers
at the end of
playing
the
at
day,
a
though,
high level.
like I do you have that? I would find it hard to believe, like Richard King, who is a season like this team with Vina Barkley, who plays for St. Lucia, and St. Lucia for the first time probably going to qualify for the Gold Cup, right? He starts in that team. Richard King, all right. Um, the busy. These guys are national players that I find it hard to believe that an under 17 team can be in CONCACAF. This is not like probably Brazil or can beat our top JPL teams.
But
Yeah,
Mannings, Mexico's has always produced good U17 teams,
True.
right? With
True.
players of who are exceptional in their age group, right?
True.
America, we see the American system right now developing some
But formula,
ridiculous talents who
eh,
are very young,
yeah. If
cutting
if
it at
if
an
you can do
extremely
that in a
high
formula,
level.
I remember doing a formula that when we played against Mexico, if Mexico under 17 team is that good, when our national team, played against Mexico in the World Cup qualifiers and in the Nation League, look at how close the game was, and there were local players on it. This is a national team of Mexico, even with the USA. The point I'm making is, I know the quality of the league need to improve, but I will tell you this. I think even some of those MLS team would have a hard time overpowering. They will probably beat some of our Premier League team, but I'm telling you that some of these MLS team, and it has happened before, where Jamaican teams in our Premier League have defeated MLS teams. It
When
has been a
15
while.
years ago,
It, it,
Mannings,
it, it do you believe,
Mannings,
eh?
may I Bridget Mannings, but maybe I strongly disagree
That's
with what
fine.
you
That's
say
fine.
right now.
That's fine. I'm not
If
saying they
we
wouldn't win enough.
Mannings,
I'm
if a
but
JPL team buck a MLS team right now, had trouble.
no, but the team. All right. Do you know what is
Mannings had
funny?
trouble.
You know what is funny though? All right. So let me say it again. Let me say what I said. I want you to listen to me. I would find it. I find it hard to believe that an MLS team would just come and overpower any one of the teams or all of the teams in our JPL. I put it to you that a Mount Pleasant team can compete against some teams in the MLS. I believe that. That's me. And that's fine
Mannings,
that's fine if you disagree.
Mannings.
And I can only go by
Mm,
I can only go by what I've seen in the past. In
mm.
the past, when Portmore United, with players who were not playing in Europe, played against MLS team, they were not overpowered. None of them got no 6 and no 10 and no 8 and no 5 and no 4. Drawn games, penalty shootout, and we defeated them. Harborview did the same. The Mobile United team did the same. All I am saying is that our top teams can compete against some of the MLS team. And if somebody disagree, that's it.
All right. Me personally, here are some of the comments that you made that I disagree with. Seeing,
Mm.
I disagree with you when you say that the Mexico games were close. I disagree with that. They were close in scoreline, but according to the run of play, they weren't close in my humble opinion.
Jamaica versus Mexico at the National Stadium in the World Cup
That
qualifiers.
wasn't a close game. That wasn't
Yes.
a close game.
Did
Even before the Damian Lowe red card. That wasn't a close game. Not in my humble opinion, it wasn't a close game. And also, I think that, for instance, North American football, I think that it is growing at a rapid pace. And I think that every year, the gap between our football and North American football widens. That's my humble opinion. And I think the MLS is growing in terms of the quality of the league. I think it is growing at a phenomenal pace. Right now, I don't think any JPL club could go toe to toe with the worst club in the MLS. Right? When we saw the Canadian Premier League team play against Waterhouse, it didn't end pretty. That's the Canadian Premier League, nowhere near the MLS.
Man, you can run through some comment or run through some comment. I don't want the commenters them feel like we're letting them
yeah, man, go.
understand what I say? All right, so go first. So the first one is Eagle Republic. Him said, does CONCACAF have a license? No, that the Trinidad and Tobago have their own a license, of course. but I am not sure that there is CONCACAF A license. And is man supposed to answer that?
No, what they have is I think I did this already on my show. There's no CONCACAF A license. What they're doing, the A license course is Trinidad. Remember, we did this on the show already, so they are trying to get CONCACAF to. All right, so if you go to university, right, you can get what they call credits to accredited uni. They will ask, is the university an accredited university? Because if they are, then you can transfer your credits, so you don't have to do certain courses. Make sense so far?
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So when they do the A license, my understanding is when CONCACAF has an A license, right? They can say, you know what, you are exempt from these. If you do these other courses, you will get it. You understand? So it is not a CONCACAF. It is a more Trinidad base that they are hoping CONCACAF will some point accept it, or when they have their own in CONCACAF, they will look at it and say, you know what, you guys have completed 9 of the 12 credits that are needed to get the certification. So do these 3 other credits and we will give it to you instead of starting from scratch. That is how I understand it to be.
So how me not understand that? Because I knew that historically CONCACAF didn't have it, but I thought that it was something that was being recently implemented. And I was thinking that this
To
A
be
license they were doing
implemented, CONCACAF want
it
all
hasn't been implemented
right.
as yet.
CONCACAF want to make the coaches be able to go through CONCACAF with all the same level of license, but they haven't done that. So I think the guy named Anton Carneal from Trinidad, he has actually gone ahead and done some of this. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to have Cameron David, who is the general secretary for the CFU, on the program, and he's going to speak to this to help people to understand it. But I think it can, I don't know, yeah.
So how CONCACAF just do this though? That's my question. Oh, it's mind blowing to me
No,
that
because I think because
CONCACAF
most of
does
the
not
other
have an A
territories,
license.
because how CONCACAF has operated, for example, Canada has their own licensing, so does the United States, so does Mexico, right? So I think it was left up to the territories because they are, in the CFU alone, there are 35 MAs, right? 35 MAs in just CFU. So I think what should have happened years ago is that CFU should have had their own licensing. What they have done is that it has been done by territories. So Jamaica has theirs, and because truthfully, this getting it, the mandate to upgrade license is really a FIFA mandate, because you know how football used to be. You're there on a team, you used to play, you start coach. You understand me? That's how it used to be. Except at the national, so most of the coaches in school was a PE teacher who probably did some football, went to GC Foster, one of those schools, and end up coaching the team for the most part. It was when I think Rene Simoes came and they started doing the level 1 and the level 2 courses. Outside of that, it was just people coming into the courses. So I think FIFA started a mandate where everyone now was becoming like certified, and so this is where now CONCACAF is trying to probably catch up with this. So I don't know, but that is how it is. Yeah.
The next question on my mind, what does blow my mind is, from Foreign Spider, we have so many good coaches on YouTube. Can we just get one to check in the national team? I think Manishma will make that journey. Reggae Boy is coming to say encouraging sign today from U17s. Look like him got the match too, because I saw him driving in. I don't know exactly. But room to improve. Yeah. We kick so much long ball, you think we would master it. Like kick the ball with some direction and touch. Patrick Riley say, I saw training session they had on YouTube. Man is that really looks like that all the practice didn't see any pressing drill, zonal drill, etc. I don't like that.
All right, people, let me just say this, right? Unless you're seeing all the different angles, it's very hard to judge things from a YouTube video. You could be right, but just know that if there's one camera following the ball, it's hard for you to see everything. Like if you don't actually go to JPL games, you will not realize how organized the teams are because the TV don't give you sometimes a full shot. This is not like the EPL where they have all of these cameras over the head camera. You understand me? Our stadiums are not built even in such a way for us to have multiple camera angles so we can see the whole field at all times, much less a man doing a little video. So just be careful sometimes when you say these things are not happening because, maybe they are not, but I'm just saying they could, but we wouldn't see them necessarily on a YouTube video.
Man is man, when you say a one camera they run them little thing there and one camera man, back of the goal.
Yeah, the video are they use the video camera and post the videos and the video camera follow the ball?
You know which one him attack because the video camera one them the post. And the one camera thing. Anyway, South Cry say the players have good quality, but even good players will look like fools if in a kick and hope like team like Jamaica. My God. I rest my judgment for the TNT match. Yeah.
Unseen.
Yes.
Well, me I love forget Manning's opinion on the forwards though. Because you were speaking about the forward line being an issue.
Yeah,
so forwards.
Someone is man. We get a call from one of the bird them, right?
Birds are making phone calls now. Interesting. I thought you'd have gotten a tweet.
For them phone calls, and them call and I'm put up ears and ear of the team, man. Understand? So them call Auntie, right? And I say, Auntie, boy, so the money in some limbo though. Because right now, they shift up some player and put some player in some position when they never played before. And so I play them comfortable there. But we still can't look at it the way the man is, man. I ask myself, say, maybe in the games, they might try different ways. Where if him, in the competition, he might turn to plan B or turn to plan C, so he might look like him old coach. You understand? So, give him the benefit of the doubt. What says you?
Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt because the point I'm making is that if the reports are accurate, one of the players that was cut from the team was cut because he was too attacking and doesn't do much defensively.
True.
The report is that he's very good going forward. All right? So I would think that if you have a deficit in the attacking area and you have a player of this quality, you would find a way to fit the player in. That's number one. The second report is that another player who was cut was told that you basically came in at the back end. But if we qualify, your quality is so good that we would want you. If those reports are accurate, and then I see a team where players are being put out of position to facilitate let me say it this way. I'd want to believe that your second suggestion, the latter, is true. That he's just trying multiple formations. And because there are different moments in the game, and he's looking at, well, if we're up one, this is what we'll do. If we're up two, if we're down two, this is what we can do. Maybe that is it. I'd want to believe that must be it. It cannot be that we don't have. You know that there's a player who was cut who can goalkeep, right? But can play left back, right back, center back, who they said had a little niggle, and they didn't want any injured player. I think the player is called J. Light Simmons. Can play multiple positions. And so I am thinking, Man say make it. I am thinking, right, Famila. Instead of taking 3 goalkeepers, if I have a player who the only reason why he's not there is because he has a niggle, I think he has recovered from that now. Why wouldn't I take him? Because I know that if I have an issue with the second goalkeeper, I still have a keeper, a player who can keep, but he's an outfield player as well, and a good keeper, 6 feet odd player. Why would I take like 3? So these are the things I want to see before I really make a call on the whole coaching situation. I have to see. You understand me? It's almost like I don't want to say much because I want to wait and see what the final 20 and the setup of the team is like. Because I think it is unfair for me to even judge not knowing what the thing is going to be. And that is why I've been very reserved in what I say. But I do have my concerns.
But man is
Money. Well, I don't see.
One
You
farmer,
know, you're sure unseen, but please.
Hey, and see,
Please.
you know, so me have show 8 o'clock, you know. So
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
yeah,
But
yeah, go ahead.
Quickly before you cut, Manning. Manning, you can please repeat that part because I don't think you. I think you made a mistake when you questioned. Really.
I
I don't think you were listening to yourself when you were speaking. You said something that you never really realized where it actually comes.
No man. If the reports are true, 2 other players who were cut, like I said, one who is a wing back. If the reports are true, he was cut because he's very, very good. One of the better players playing going forward, but just not good defensively. So
someone is man. That means him better than the winger then.
I have never heard of a player being cut because he is too good going forward or too good attacking. Or too attacking.
Let me say it this way. He's not good defense. Let's use the negative to do it then, to just make it sound better and give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's use the negative. The negative is they need him to play wing back and he doesn't defend in that position. So based on that, all right? So
but that's not even the one that alarms me the most.
The second one,
other one, I don't think you really were listening to us. I think you made an error.
So here's what the reports are saying. The player came to the camp. I think he's one of the last players to come to the camp. Quality player and good player. All right? And the thought is they would want to bring him back if the team qualify. All right? That don't make any sense to me. I'm just telling you what the reports are saying.
What madness is that, Unseen?
Okay.
Unseen and Mannings.
Listen,
just what kind of madness is that?
I did not say the JPL team will beat the MLS team. I said to you that I believe that there are teams in our JPL that the MLS team would not run over them. And I have evidence of that. Montego Bay United have played MLS team and they weren't mauled. Portmore United. Harbour View got a beat, I think, from the Houston one time, but I think the game in Jamaica. So sometimes those dynamics work.
DC United is what? The MLS team, right?
Yeah.
And what was playing like they were
beat them. Know DC United Unseen with the reggae boy Unseen.
Right. So then what was
big star reggae boy there?
I try to wonder now, but what was playing the national stadium, media the match, you angry and kill them with ball.
There you go, sir. Anyways, that game is a good one. But let me just take Foreign Spider and then go. That is it, Foreign Spider. So I would want my coach, if I were a coach, I would want to be like Klopp. Why I say I would be like Klopp? Because Trent is not the best person defending, but Klopp still find a way to play him. And Liverpool still win with Trent on the field.
Well, look, me not really knock a coach for You know.
We have to leave, you know.
Yeah, man, yeah,
Please
man,
forgive
yeah,
me.
man, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah. We got to
Yeah,
start
man.
the show.
That's madness, though, man. That's madness. That's madness unseen. For you to not select what the sense it even bring. I mean, I guess to look at it and to see what he can do, but to say to a player that you are so good that you will. The tournament is what, a little over 2 weeks from now. We kick off things. To say to a player that you are so good that if we qualify for the World Cup, you will be in the squad. But because you have come into the setup late, you will not be included. To me, that's absolute madness. You are telling me that you cannot integrate a player into a system within a couple of weeks leading into a tournament? You cannot integrate a player into a system within a couple of weeks heading into a tournament. That is madness. That's foolishness. That is utter rubbish. One player, you cannot integrate that player into the squad with a couple of weeks to go. And you are cutting that player even though he's good enough, and you are saying that he will be in the squad if it qualifies for the World Cup. He's that good that you are basically making that guarantee that you will be called into the squad heading to the World Cup. Obviously on the conditions of if he's fit, blah, 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 blah. But I've never heard a player being removed from a squad based on that sort of reasoning unseen. I've never heard that before. That's madness.
Yeah, man, madness.
You are telling me that you have a couple of weeks to integrate one player unseen, and you can't that you cannot show him the roles and functions within a couple of weeks to go before the tournament. You can integrate him into the system.
You want anything? You want anything with that? All right, people. That was another guest on the show. We're going to drop him on right now. If they want to promote themselves, you know, you haven't said nothing more than just know who this. Yeah, man. What's up, leader? Not hearing you though. Not hearing you. You're muted.
What am I saying now?
We're talking about the U17 team.
We need him comment on that and team. We need leader comment on that and
yeah, man,
that's the first thing
so
leader
know what
needs.
you know. Leader know what
Leader, how long have you been listening to the stream, leader?
I just started listening to the stream about 5-6 minutes now.
All right, so you hear the part where Mannings was reporting that one of the players was cut from the U17 setup because, well, he is so good that if the team qualifies for the World Cup, he will be called into the squad and be going to the World Cup. But because he arrived too late into the setup, he will not be taking part.
That sounds foolish.
In the qualifiers. What do you think about that?
That part now, I have a question that, you know, when you say arrive too late, I have a problem, an issue there.
Here and Ergina.
Didn't they just, unseen, didn't they call another player local just the other day also?
Yeah, about a week.
After probably that player?
About a week now.
Yeah. So question, when you're telling somebody that, oh, he's arrived late, we're speaking about an overseas player then, right? So anyway, I'm not going to make too much criticism because everybody going to see this and thing. I don't want to step on anybody can too tough, okay? But I will just talk it plain as I see it. At this stage, I'm not the coach, right? But and the coach, compared to a lot of other coaches previously, he had the opportunity to see a wide variety of players over a period, more than I think any other coach ever has seen. He has seen overseas player from very early
he was able to go and select who he wanted. And it was so much easier for him, right? And he has had them in camp almost continuously for a month. He could have invited anybody. There was a player that I understand he just recently brought in a week ago. Why didn't, if he had, and the player had issues, I think passport, whatever. If you have players that you might call, why not keep them in the camp? If there's, I heard the other section about a player who was cut because he had a niggle, but the player can play multiple roles. One of the things I know going into a tournament, especially like this, they're not going to carry, by the way, they're not going to carry three keepers. I think it's two. They can't carry three. That's ridiculous.
Because it's a 20-man squad, though.
Right. Only 20. It's going to be just like the under 20s, two keepers alone.
Why is the number so low, leader?
Hold on.
Why 20?
You can carry more than 20. You can carry more than 20.
Yeah, you can't.
You have a pay 20.
I think you have to. There's some arrangement where otherwise from that you're going to be responsible for the extra players.
Yes, arrangement. Yeah, so they're going to carry 3 keepers. They're going to carry.
So we know JFF only bring the 20.
No man.
They only carry 2 keepers.
The funds are there to carry the other 3. That's a bird. My birds.
Well,
once you talk about bringing extra players,
what I can say, if I had a choice, the player that can play centre back, central midfield, and he's a very good keeper, there's no way I would have dropped him. You know, but that's not the problem with this team, you know. This team, as far as I see, there's one main problem, and the coach knows it. And the problem is carrying over from under 15. Do you guys know who the leading goal scorer when they played, I think, the under 15 tournament was?
The Bell.
Huh?
The Bell.
No,
Oh.
I don't think it was Bell. I think one of the main goal scorers for them was the guy that is in the goal now. They had to take him out of the goal to play up front to score goals because they didn't have a goal scorer then, and it has carried over now, 2 years later, where they are struggling to find a goal scorer.
But leader, that don't make no sense. Leader, sorry to cut you, but as I was saying to Ansi, that does not make sense to me because for instance, the last I don't know if these players are still in the setup, but the last squad that I saw contained the likes of players like Watson from Glenmuir, contained the likes of players like Wilberforce from
Wilberforce is there. He's playing around the back.
He's playing around the back line.
Yes, he is.
What?
As I said, I'm not the coach. I just think
goal scorers in
continue.
Hey.
Move along.
I'm gonna be walking this now, you know. I'm gonna be walking this now, people. You want to make me lose my faith.
Move along. Go on now. I'll get back to that. We can get back to that. Go on.
Me lose my faith. If I say go, me lose my faith.
Wilberforce one of the leading goal scorers in rural area football?
Wilberforce came through the Cavalier program. He, for various reasons, he went down to Mount Pleasant. He was one of the better strikers I've seen for Cavalier at a young age. He's a natural goal scorer.
Yeah, he's well, according to schoolboy football, the schoolboy football level, he was one of the best forwards I saw in schoolboy football.
Didn't he play a game for the Premier League team?
No, he never. He only Premier League. He's registered to play for Cavalier, not Mount Pleasant, by the way.
Okay. Leader.
Anyway, move along. I don't think anybody even knew that, so I guess I shouldn't even have mentioned that. I should have waited until you watch.
Leader, if the forwards are playing in the defense line, no wonder them have a problem with the forward line because they might take the players out of the forward line and put them in the
Wilberforce, what I can say about him is he is a very technical player. He's good. So I don't know if because of his size, pace, they're trying something. I don't know. Because one of the problems I saw earlier on I don't know if it's this show I mentioned it on, was that when they cut a number of players first, I noticed that they cut a number of players that were centers. And when I looked at the squad itself, I said, but hold on. They were down to about 5 specialist centers in India. I said, but hold on. They're going to have a problem, you know. You know, I just don't know what they were doing. And then, to be honest, I'd really love to see how many special centers are still in the team. I don't think it's a lot because let me see. J. Smith came out. Another one from Clarendon, I think, came out. One of the overseas players.
How much they come now?
They're about 27 there now. But they go home today and they come back Sunday. Or they go home tomorrow and come back Sunday. I don't know if everybody is coming back or they're going to cut it at that stage or what. I'm not sure.
Question, leader. Is Kobe Thomas eligible for the U17s?
No.
Oh, he's older.
They have to be no, he's eligible for the next under 20 though.
Yeah, that I know.
No.
Okay.
So you're calling some names. Go on with the names you're calling though.
No, I was just saying that it baffles me how everybody keeps on saying now that the goal scoring, the forward line is a problem, but two of the best forwards that I saw in schoolboy football
more than that
are in this setup.
There was a forward from St. Andrew Technical, and I think he was one of the better goal scorers also for Manning Cup. But the problem is, let me tell you what, and I can't wrong the coach for his explanation, was that players with a injury, he wasn't going to keep them in the team. Because look here now, according to the logic is that they're playing every other day. You don't want a player going down and then you're short. So if that's the case, I don't see a problem there. But if I bring up the name J. Smith, I know he has been on the bench for a Premier League team for quite a while now and he has been training. So I don't know. I won't say anything which Premier League team because people are going to say, you know, so I won't bother to comment on it. Whatever the coach wants, I don't have a problem. What he has to do though, you know, him have to make sure say him don't have no excuses after the fact. Right? That's how I see it. Because I think he has gotten a lot more than most coaches for a while. Because if you look at it, he has them in a camp for extended period. Most of the players here were scouted from last year, June. Then he had a thing to go overseas, the USA, got the USA cohort together. So I think he has gotten most things that he wanted. So it's just up to him now to try to deliver.
Yeah.
You know?
But Paul and family. I see that's why me can't really take what people must say. You understand me? Because you see the conference will come up, really have to ask the coach some questions. You understand me? And one next thing to me, I beg the man them do. Stop sending out the link to some man. We're not blogger, them now have a YouTube channel. Them now have a, you understand me? Because they make it bad. Mainstream are complain about it because
they know who they want to get to come onto the thing. They want people to come on that way ask the hard questions or the questions that they don't want asked.
But yeah, some man where if you hear them pan them come on some of the man them show and how them disgrace the man and them then go into the thing, them go like say them a friend. You understand me? Them not have no reason to they in the thing. So the man will stop sending it out and tell them to stop go up on the thing, brother. You understand me? I say, so we come over. But what I say, we need to ask the coach them some question. Because if me hear the man say, if me remember the man say, him look upon the players them him have and him build a system to what him have. Now, me I hear say long ball for days. And that's a theme style for a morning. Me tell Paul this long time, I say, Paul, my greatest thing with a coach. And
no comment.
And I'm more than one of them. Me like some of them style in terms of coaching. Men them a good friend, you know. And I hope them not hold this against me. You understand me? I say men them a good friend. Me soon no miss like cartoon if you don't want to phone business. But me I'm not a friend. Me have some personal issue with some of them. Some of them teach me. Me still have personal issue based on what them teach me. Without them view the football. You understand me? I say? Because when me go back and me look into certain things and I say, no man, but this is not practical. It's practical in terms of the book, theoretically, but on the field, a different ball game. And based on my knowledge of how them play, in the schoolboy football and the club football, if you look on Vassernals, a long ball for days too, you know. Spirit, one of my good friend, know the football theoretically to a T. But we have some concern with him practical thing. Now me. He might be like, who is me to talk about it? And he might do me like, but this is what me get from baseball there on me. Me have some doubts in terms of the practical thing. You understand me I say?
Oh.
Miran God, you know, me never there around him in terms of when him a coach. But baseball, I raised with him one time about a particular situation, and from this some I raise my eyebrow raised. And I say, yo, like, really? Like, me did ask a question one time when he play KC. Family, he play KC. Right? He play KC. And KC they tool up in the second half. You know what the man do second half? The man take out him striker and put in an extra defender. You hear me say? Me and the coach Charlie Mount. That year they were with Ben Francisco. Me and the coach with Ben Francisco for Charlie Mount. Me an assistant. And when me sit, me watch it, I say, Miss Man said to me, say, like really, you play a system, you get opportunities up top. And the man them score 2 goals per year. And you put on a defender, you put on an extra man attack and go for the juggler. Now, me remember that day there, I was playing in the under 14 team, under 14 team, make it to quarter final round. I was playing under 14. He beat my under 14 team 2-1. In that one played really good, really good formula. But in the second half, we lock him down. What we do is we stop the source from the ball. He was so good. He played money, he played Dakasako. He would have beat you in every duel, 1v1 in the kill. But we stop the source and eliminate him in the second half. And we end the game 2-1. Right? Then we finish asking the question. We said to him, say, why you do that in the game? You know what my response was? Better tell me your response was.
No. Me can't guess what it is. What is his response?
What I'm gonna tell you, protect his integrity.
Protect what?
Protect his integrity.
Oh, so you're losing already, so you don't want to lose big.
You know, I lose by 5 or 6.
Protect him what?
Integrity.
Protect him integrity. So from this, me I pre
basically, him kind of a little bit. I don't know if it's a coward, but I don't think that's the right word.
So from them time, as a coach to be, as a coach to be. You understand me? Me not like that type of footballer. Someone look at him as somebody who would emulate to try and learn from. You understand me? I say. You know the JPL right now. If you emulate somebody right now in the JPL, right? When I look on speed type of football. As people bash him and kill him and all them things, that's speed.
And it was some decent leather in a league that year.
Them up and down, them chop.
Yeah, true.
Speed,
but when them get it right,
But speed, if you look on how them attack, brother, them attack with, you can see what them are gonna do, brother. Colin Anderson is not that type of player where you have skills and right? But he might fit the puzzle, he might go in the area where the ball are gonna reach because them play to that. You can learn something from how Cavaliers play. And over the last couple of years, Cavaliers never play like this because they never score so much goal. You understand me? I said there's something you can learn from with speed. I don't know, friend thing. I'm not a friend for nobody. So I tell you what me see. You get where I come from? So that's one of my problems I have with the coaching personally. Look at Miran, them name, Bass long ball, defensively sound for days. Focus on individual qualities to try to get ball into the area. Big power forward up top and try to get goal. Right? Sometimes we have good keepers and everything. They always try to have good keepers too. So them can play the long ball and everything. Well. Period now, team football in our brain and it hard to come out on the field. You get what I say?
They say him football in our brain and it's hard to come out for the field. That's
I'm a
funny.
person, you know, but this is my opinion. Them can't beat.
Them a peer know the game, man. I mean, if
man, him know the game and him can teach very well.
School, he must know the game.
Brother, the man know the game.
I could imagine we have a player, a coach rather, teaching the coaching school and don't know the game.
Brother, the man know the game. Him know the game. He know the game to a team.
But if him a teacher the coaching school, if him
Look
a teacher
here,
the coaching school,
but I'm not saying this is a case. But you have people that will know certain things, but to let you break it down. Let me give you
to apply it.
Yeah, right. To apply it is another thing. Because let me tell you something that I realized. I remember one day I went to school for something for my son, and the principal was there. And there was something that was happening in the class on the day now. And the principal stepped in. I didn't know that this man, maths was his thing. The man went up to the blackboard and there was something there that some of the boys were having an issue with. And the man broke it down so simple. Maths is not my forte, but he broke it down so simple. I said, my God, no. And as I said, this is the same thing with something. You have some players that later on, they don't make good coaches because they can't break it down. You have some people that know the theory so well, right? When they talk it, they can talk it so well. But when it comes to applying it in a match situation, different thing. So as I say, it's just one of those things.
But leader, if Andrew Peart is coaching the and to be fair, I watched some Glenmuir games this season, and to be fair, they never played bad football. But my thing is, if and to be fair, Unseen is not the only person that I've heard made an accusation against Andrew Peart. Now, if he's coaching the coaching school, part of what he has to be educating the student coaches on is the application of the theory. So if himself, if it's the case that he cannot apply the theory, then how am I going to teach?
No. What are the formula? A man can always teach you 2 plus 2, you know. 2 plus 2 equals 3. But you know have to work it out yourself and put it practically. Because 2 plus 2 can equal 3. So you don't a teacher teach on a book. The book can wrong with the information, you know. And you know have to look into it and say, boy, this makes sense. Because all right. So the D license, right? He was the main teacher there. Right? And a lot of things when them teach have issues with it. But we never make it clear there. But go in my space, I'm a thing.
You keep that to yourself.
I ask other coaches. You understand me? Even coaches were near him right now, I ask. Well, know the football good. Right? And me I say like to myself, say, the man must say, yo, Pachi, but this doesn't make no sense. So, for example, if you may ask a question now, Paul, if you are coach a particular team, way of attacking your own half, right? And them now get it right. Would you stop them? Would you stop them and try to get it right and teach them what they are doing wrong to get it right? And try to see if them can even get P side or the full thing before the session finish. Or you'd allow them to play, and if them get it right, you clap them and encourage them. Which one would you do?
No, let me tell you. Look here now. I have worked with a whole heap of different coaches. And I tell a lot of people all the while, that few coaches always get praise from me. I know what I'm looking for in a good coach. The better coach is one that when you look here, when you have the time, you can't leave it up to them, You stop the game and make them understand. And I've seen that with a lot of some coaches who get a lot of rating too. Right? And these are the ones that when you look at the players that they produce, right, you can see the difference there. Once you can stop, take the time and show them. You can't make them go ahead and then hope. That hope is up where? Hope road? No, come on, man. It don't work that way. You have to take the time for stop and make them get it. If you don't do that, don't make sense.
I see Orlando. Go through.
Yeah, I'm saying that's my opinion with that. You understand? So the thing is, as I say, a lot of coaches in Jamaica, some of them have big egos. So you can't talk to them and tell them, any correction. You have some people for that when you speak to them, they'll at least listen to you and pick sense out of nonsense. And sometimes they'll apply what you might say if they say it makes some sense. Even for me, I remember, I went somewhere once and I went to watch a game because I was looking for some players. And there were about 3 or so players that did well. And I remember but there was a youngster, very young. He was the youngest one on the team. And I actually picked him and took him to my club. About 2 years later, I saw the coach for the same primary school team and he asked me, Mr. Maxwell, you had 2 other guys on the team there. Why did you pick that one and not the other 2? And I when I started to explain to him couldn't get it. But that youngster went on to be leading goal scorer under 12, 13, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is that how I got to know these things is I listen to other people, and I learn from everybody. So let me show you something. So when you do your license, just like Stephen Francis will tell you, Stephen Francis always does things and tweaks it a little bit to suit his thing. That's why he makes a difference. Him go through the things that him read up on them and then he tweaks it. So whatever you learn at the various license courses, absorb it, but tweak it. Don't be a slave to whatever you are taught. And I think that's one of the problems with some of the coaches. They're a slave to whatever they are taught and they don't want to make an adjustment. And because of that, they're just not going to succeed like that. They might succeed in Jamaica, but as soon as you take them out of Jamaica, they get exposed.
So what you're saying is that some of them are not critical thinkers.
No, they can't just. They're just going to go one way, and that's it.
You saw it in the under 20. You saw it in the under 20.
What's that?
You saw it in the under 20.
Well, to be fair, I think that Fuzzy in that under 20 tournament was going up against opposition coaches that were just far more experienced, far more qualified, and far more.
He got an easy. He got one of the easiest pathways through luck by coming third, and he threw it away because he was just stubborn and he never adjusted. He had some players that were not performing, and all he did to one of them was take away the captain's armband. When the player carrying an injury, he should have put him down to the bench and adjusted. But he did not want to adjust. He went down.
But Paul, if
I agree with all of that. That's fair. All of that is fair.
Well, I'm still look at things and create a problem. But Paul, if me can remember, you are the one that say, oh, them man never play, them man never go to decide.
No, what you say a while ago?
mean, one of the time you was say, yo, they man if starting of the team, the man have big ball.
No,
Who
hold on.
is fine.
Hold on. Let me tell you something about me now. I am as good for a player as his last game. Once you're not performing, and I can tell you, that particular player we're talking about, he was one of the top players in the Manning Cup. I think, didn't he get MVP or something like that?
Yeah, man.
He was a top player. So at the time, he was good. But after a while, he was not.
And
I
then
was one of the biggest critics. I was calling people and say, take the youth off of the field. Him going to kill the team. I'm not a hypocrite. Look here, let me tell you something. Rudolph Speed will tell you, one of the people that criticize him more than anybody else, Mr. Maxwell. Sometimes him don't like when we call him on the phone. Because if him doing foolishness, I'm going to rake him over the coals. And I can tell you, him normally tell me that all the while when I put up things on my status, but always putting up, boy, the best coach I know. Him dead now, David Wagga Hunt. And it's not until the other day, I remember this year, I tell people, say, boy, finally, me say a coach that can almost edge out Wagon because him start think a little bit now. And I'm Mr. Speed. I tell him that. Come
yeah,
criticize him all the while. Come say, no man, what type of thing you play? Now go. But I have seen where having done the course, the A license, I've seen where a problem that I had before, I said, look here, you're playing the thing defensively, like you don't have no transition between defense to attack and so on. And I've seen it.
Leader, we were
Yeah.
saying that earlier in the stream, that with Rudolph Speed, pursuing the A license, you can see that he has improved as a coach. You can
Big,
see
big
it.
time. And I can tell you,
Yeah, man.
as one of the biggest critics, I told him at one stage, say, I can tell you this too. When I just came to Cavalier, I brought my own coaches, I tell Mr. Speed, say, look here, certain people now coach my player them. You understand? I brought my own coaches. After a while, I say, boy, I say, look here, the talent is there, so almost anybody can work with them. I can tell you, a lot of people don't, a lot of coaches out there don't like me because I say, look here, me not rate no coach because most time I've worked with a whole heap of different coaches, and once I give you a team, if you can't win with a team, then you're not good, right? I'm very critical like that, right? And it's few people that I can say, yeah, you look like you're thinking because a coach has to think and adapt. So if you cannot think and adapt during a game, you're not getting ratings. You have to be able to think and adapt. If you're down, you need to think and try to do something to come out of there. You understand? You can't just look for the save face.
It's
And that's
called
one of the
coaching
problems.
in the game. Coaching in the game. Not for Jamaica them can do. Not Jamaica.
In-game management.
In-game management. That's
Yeah.
not for Jamaica them can do. Like you see it's like a chess move. A man block a particular area and your players them can't go around it. What do you do? Right? You know what me see? What me see because me watch something with what him name? Jose Marino. You know what Jose Marino do? When they want to get to certain player because the international space, sometimes the player them can't hear you when you talk or you shout, right? So what them now want to do, them write down on a piece of paper and give a player and send it across to the player. So them have them look at checkboard them right and send it across. Sometimes we call a player and tell him, say, hey, tell this so and so. But sometimes they write on a paper, send it across. Like then we write a particular rotation or combination play, draw it out on the paper and say, yo, more you to do this, you to do that, you to do that in the game. Because this a player, when you draw him out of the space here, because if you get the ball in and out of the space, more likely to get opportunity to score. Them little thing there, brother, like, we not think the football, like, we just play a particular way, so we set up 4-4-3, and we teach him and to kick the ball along down there, so. I wouldn't know, say, half of the game because of fitness. You know, can run fast again. Your stamina will go down. So what do you do after that? Do we keep the ball? Them little thing that we're not
They are a slave to whatever they're doing, and they don't try adjust.
So me ask you a question now. We play long ball, right? Bloom. Of the man them are running from the game start. You know, so the first 15 minutes of the game always hot. two teams them try to find their footings. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So we play the Maran Garden style of football. Bloom, 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 bloom. No, we not get no time, no time. What do we go to score? You answer me now, family, and what do we do to score?
Well, I mean, it depends on what is taking place and where is the opportunities and where is the space that can be exploited. Um, I get why you asked the question because you don't think that Miran Garden has a plan B. You know, I will say this much. Getting out of here now, but I'll say this much. I hope, and I really do hope that they can get it together and that we don't see yet another World Cup qualification campaign failing because of poor coaching. These are three of the best coaches in the island, and it will say a lot about where we still are if they cannot get this team over the line, or
You
if
must
the
say
team
best
fails,
coaches.
or the team fails because of poor coaching.
You will say best coaches because of qualification. Let me work with that.
Yeah, best and experience as well. Qualification and experience as well. Anyways, gentlemen, out of here. Unseen, it was a pleasure, boss. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Respect, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Sir Paul, I'm reading
Yeah,
a
man.
question. But unseen, what was Mona's style of playing the Manning Cup? A long ball or direct playing? You see? So me fix up that. Me see if me can make sense.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, Stefan, right? So what me see is long. Me see a type of football where we usually play in the 2002, 2004, them type of.
Longer than that, man.
Eh?
Longer than that.
No, man. At them time, come here watch back a game with Jamaica versus Uruguay. Right? And the same how Jamaica play against Uruguay, same how me see Mona play.
Why? I don't know about
All
that. I
right.
think longer
So
than that.
me,
Go
me,
on.
me tell you why me say that now. Mona don't really keep the ball on them backline. They make 5 passes and the ball come out of them backline. But when that ball come out of the backline, always find a player who is free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's space. Right or wrong, Paul?
It's right, but the problem
All
is,
right. Well, I'm
yeah,
finished.
man.
No, with other players, with other coaches give them a watch. The ball will go to the center forward. And most of the time, or them score a goal, the center forward make a mistake, or them don't get the ball at all. The center back then deal with the ball. Center back make a mistake, then them score, or the center back head the ball away and them don't get no chance to score. Majority of the time when them score goals, mistake from the defenders. Now, with Mona, the ball go to a winger, right? Then them try keep the ball at the attacking third for a long period of time. Them don't keep the ball at defensive third, right? So it's a difference with their direct play than playing long ball and open play and say somebody make mistake. You understand me? I say, I want me see me I tell you. So it's totally different, right?
Well, look here. My main issue with Mona, a lot of people initially, and I can tell you, it worked to an extent because I remember, I think it was Cayman who went to once, and we're playing. There was a Cuban team that played very similar type of football, right? But the thing is, when you play like that, you need to adjust. One of the problem why Craig got worked out later on, because everybody know what to expect. The only team he could beat after that, was when him play against certain team and it worked against them. But teams that knew him, it never worked against them after a while. Because everybody figured him
All
out.
right.
Once he played certain teams, they figured him out and figured what to do. Once some guys come up, them just basically drop back.
Here are my problem now with Craig now. When he play against other teams that have quality like him now. Right across the pitch. Him play him system, which me have to say, yeah, him stand up to where him know and he not change.
Mm.
But in a football, Pep Guardiola have to change sometimes. Although in my top team, have to change to adjust himself to other teams. And that's how Craig feels for him. You should adjust in a different system.
That's a right.
Right. Nice. Although some of the time referee them give. Referee some of the goal them will score upon them referee them never do it. But him for adjust to certain system and him never do it.
Mhm.
Him never do it.
Yeah, man. I'm saying, I see somebody put it up at I know 70s ball that. That's what I'm used to doing in the 70s, man. For true. I tell you. But listen, hold on. What one a lot of people have to look at now still, is that nowadays, right? We gone back to a style, right? Well, not even a style. But one of the things that people are seeing now is that we usually say, okay, if you have the majority of the possession, you're going to win the match. That has been turned on its head from the last World Cup now, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not necessarily that you need to keep possession and this and that. The game might not be as pretty as you might want, but what is the objective of the game? To get
Score
the
a
ball
goal.
in the back of the net, right?
Yes, most important part of the game.
Okay. Well, as I said, this is another criticism. I remember I used to tell Mr. Speed all the while. I said, look here, you have how many you have? You play 3 matches and you draw 3 matches, right? And somebody else lose 2 and win 1. They just playing to win the match. And him just as equal as you. You understand? So
So that's
after
what
a while, you have to objective is you have to play to win. You cannot play not to lose. It don't make no sense, in my opinion. And especially in this type of tournament coming up, I don't know what they're going to plan to do. They're going to plan to go there to play not to lose the games, to go through. For me, they have to play to win. But they're
brother,
going to have a problem. They don't have
them
a
have
goal
too much
scorer.
them have too much player if we can't win the game, man.
They have enough players that can draw a match, but them do have enough players that can. Look here, if you don't have a goal scorer, you're going to have problems. I'm telling you that. If you look at the matches that they have played so far, we have not seen any forward scoring any goals. And that to me is a problem. Big problem.
You know what the next problem now we have with the coaching staff now? Technology. Gone are the days now when we are say, all right, then we have to use the eye test. Who is going to be on the bench to refer to refer information? So for example, whose stamina is down, how long this player can play for. Because them things are vital in the game,
Well,
People understand that he's a fitness coach, I can tell you, All right.
mhm,
I learned from overseas. He's an overseas man. Come, Charlie Mount, and show me them things with technology.
mhm.
The GPS monitor, the heart rate monitor, and all them something there. Him teach me a lot. I'm learning a lot. I understand these are very important things in the game, where we need to know how long these players can play on the field for. Now, if a player only can play for 80 minutes, after 80 minutes, he's a liability on the field,
Uh-huh.
right? He's a liability on the field, right?
Yes.
Because science are gonna tell us that when time the ball catch him foot now can lift up to kick the ball or usually kick it in the 80 minutes. So it go, maybe make some bad passes where other fresh players or another team gonna get it and go score. Right? So I said work out. So scenarios work out. So football are scenarios, Paul. How you play them manage the scenarios them, is very important. Because I be a duels dep on the field, 1v1, 2v2, 3v1 duels. Oh, you win the duels them. What should you do in the duels them? You get where I come from? Oh, that's where you're supposed to teach your players them. Oh, you're gonna win in the duels. Depends on where how the ball come. If you come in the air, if you come on the ground, if you're not in the space, what should you do? You understand me, people? So these are some of the things that we think most of the coaches don't understand and think. But parchment only have a D license, so we can't educate nobody. You understand? It's a YouTuber, we can't educate nobody. Them man we are criticizing them of them B license and them A doing them A license and things. So them not going to listen to me. You understand what I say? And them teach me and things. But respect you. Rate the man them. The man them do a good job and things. But you know in a football, criticism are always there. Make all about criticism and thing, and we are learning the sports here. So we don't want the man them take it to to art and eat to and don't want to talk to me and lock off certain things from me. First I talk based on what me see. It's my personal opinion. And people can improve. When we say improve, I come say, yo, the man a big coach. Oh no, the man improve, the man qualify the team to the youth the under 17. Oh no, talk about World Cup. You see me take back my talk then. But until then, this music. Yeah, man. Ligo say, I told you already, I have Mary weakness, and the biggest one is that he's a panic and coward, and that always it his ego chipping. Oh, what about Zach Lovelace? I don't think he's going to get his passport in time. I won't use these practice games to judge. I'm waiting on the TNT 2 games. Yeah, the fourth. But next week was Saturday. Next week Saturday. Eh? Hopefully we can go to the match and get some information. I don't know where that match is playing, so I don't want to know what to play first and think. And then we'll go. People, we are long enough, people. Yo, we are long. I understand enough. Go home now. I'm still there work, see. I lock up the place, right? Cut out. You understand what I say? So now, be fun. Yeah. Cut out of the place. You know, we have work tomorrow. Big up all the people that come on for Nancy Sports who take the time out to show me some love and how we build the thing. You understand me I say? Yeah, man. So thanks again, everybody. Lagos, Marvin Ferran, Tennessee who dropped in earlier, Reggae Boys commentary, big up yourself, Stefan Wright, Fine Spider, Rob Smith, Eagle Republic. You know the man them, the man them will come on. Manning's man, my panelists, Formula Sports, the leader. Will always come and big up yourself. You understand me? I said enough love go to everybody. And all the man who talk about the coaches them wishing all the best in the tournament. Seeing you got the players them wishing all the best and thing. We just want to know if we do the right thing. You understand me? But we have to talk about some of the things them when now go on good. You understand me, leader? You have anything to say because I close me, I try to close off and reach home still.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, look here. The only thing, as I said right here now, is that we have 2 matches against TNT. TNT is not the same TNT we used to play years ago. Okay? They're not that big team anymore. But it's going to be a formidable opponent. What's that?
Just pass it up here anytime.
It's next week, the 4th and the 7th. The 2 matches are in Kingston though. I don't know the times and stuff, but I know it's the 4th and the 7th.
Kingston National Stadium?
I imagine it should be. I'm not sure. I might put it at somewhere small. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Right? Oh. I don't know if they're going to try to find. I can't say which stadium. I don't think they're going to be National Stadium though, because what they're going to cost JFF going to try to use another field, man. I figure. So it might be at Arnett, it might be Harborview. I don't know. Right? But what I can say is that it will be a good test, but we already know that they have a problem up front. So I don't know what they're going to do. Because I don't know if you mentioned before that 2 of the players that they expected to get, Zach Lovelace and Karim Lumsden, are off. They're not going to get them again. It won't be possible for them to get the documents sorted out in time. So I don't know if you had mentioned that, but basically, what for work we do is there. We don't have a choice now.
Yeah. They say thing there. But I heard that they have a they're going to have a press conference soon. So, because this is February now and the competition starts by 11th. Almost February is 26th, tomorrow is 27th. By next week it's February. And it's moving time, preparing to move out into the competition. Boy, judgment day.
The 7th after the 7th is 4 days after that is the first match, So whatever we see them have on display, I think for the first match, I think that we will at least have an idea what the team is going to be doing. The second match, I think we'll see what the alternatives might be. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So all I have to say is I wish them all the best, but I don't think there should be any excuses. Let's see what happens. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Paul, Big up yourself. Thank you for joining Unseen Sports TV. You
Yeah,
understand?
man, no problem.
Respect, man. All the time,
Okay.
bro.
Right. Out.
People, I'm going to be out in a few. You know, go already. So big up the man them again. Understand me? And continue to share up the Unseen Sports channel so people can subscribe and like and thing. Understand me? I build the channel. We get better and better. The quality get better. The information getting better. And we're getting, you know, we're learning a lot of stuff. All right, people, remember, if you are somebody who influence people a lot and you have a lot of youths around you, please to influence them and tell them that violence is not the way out. We can talk it out, reason it out, but we don't have to shoot it out or stab it out. You understand me? Violence must stop. All right, people? Yeah, man. Unseen Sports, always on the scene. I am going to be out in a few